Ronan Keating is this sweet young guy from Ireland who became one of the biggest boy band stars in the world.
The thought of sitting there with Piers under the microscope, it's quite intimidating.
Right now, I think he's decided to finally come clean about all the stuff we read about in the headlines.
What he's going to ask me, joining Boyzone, leaving Boyzone, Louis Walsh.
The tragically early death of his mother. Then, of course, the death of his bandmate, Stephen Gately. An affair which came out in the newspapers.
There's things tonight that, I'll say that have never been heard before.
I mean, Ronan Keating doesn't do this kind of interview.
This is probably the most nervous I've ever been going into an interview.
If I was him, I'd be nervous.
Are these chairs supposed to be this uncomfortable?
How are you feeling?
Now I feel great. Now I feel confident. I feel like I'm moving forward. But over the last few years, it hasn't obviously felt that good.
We'll come to what was going on in your life a little later, but in a survey in 2003, you were listed as the musical artist that people most like to listen to while making love.
Okay. I like that one.
Do you actually like the idea of people having sex to your music?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Have you ever done?
Never.
No, never. Yes, you have.
No, I have not.
I can imagine.
I don't.
Even when you were like dating, the lights go down, the candles come out.
Never. Mortified. Are you crazy? No way.
Let me play you my new single.
No, not going to happen. The thoughts of the other lads singing in the background, it was never going to happen. No way, no.
Now, when Boyzone were at the height of their fame, the fan club had 28,000 members, and you personally got the most fan mail, 2,000 fan letters a week.
Wow.
What was the weirdest thing fans ever sent you?
I remember, which a bit weird and sick, was pubic hair. Yeah, exactly. Oh.
Seriously?
Yeah, seriously. Sellotaped into cards. Yeah, not cool.
Did you ever reply to those?
No.
Ronan?
Okay.
Now, some of your fans are so fanatical and found out where you lived that your mother didn't help matters because she used to invite them in.
Yeah.
Come in, see his bedroom.
She did. She felt sorry for them. It was cold outside. It was Dublin. It was always raining. And she'd bring them inside, yes, show them my bedroom, taking photos. I remember actually seeing, it was a fanzine magazine or something, there was a photograph of my bedroom in the fanzine. And I was looking and going, how the hell did they get a photo of my bedroom? I remember going home and saying, Mom, I can't believe that. And she goes, oh, yeah. I might have let them into your room to take a photo.
Did you ban her from doing that?
Yeah, I said, oh, please, Ma'am, don't. She wouldn't listen to you. It's all good.
Ronan, let's take a look at how you became one of the biggest singing stars of the last 20 years. Ronan Keating, the Irish clean-cut superstar who captured the hearts of millions of fans.
Girls love him, their mums love him, probably their gran loves him.
He has that charisma, he has the charm.
He loves to sing, he loves music.
He's a solo artist. And the lead singer of one of Ireland's biggest musical exports.
Boyzone paved the way for everybody who's come after them in pop music from Ireland.
They're Ireland's first big pop band. There's no doubt about that. They were massive.
Ronan got his break 19 years ago when he was discovered by a well-known pop supremo.
It's the famous Louis Walsh that you hear so much about.
He was putting together Ireland's biggest boy band.
These lads have decided they are going to be Ireland's answer to Take That.
Within 24 hours of being signed up, Ronan and his fellow bandmates were asked to perform on Ireland's primetime entertainment programme, The Late Late Show.
I'm sure that if there was one bit of footage that they could buy and destroy, it would be that.
The whole country pissed their pants laughing.
An hour before we went on, the host of the show said he wants us to do something. Sure, we didn't even know each other.
You couldn't believe these guys in dungarees with their tops off were dancing. They weren't even singing.
It was literally like Louis had gone, guys, just dance like maniacs. We need to get you noticed. That footage is just pure gold.
Thank you very much. Well done. Goodbye, Richard. Goodbye.
Who would have guessed that they could become such a phenomenon?
We look forward to hearing from you when you're famous.
A year later, they got their first Irish #1. And along with it, an adoring female fan base.
The reaction they got was incredible. And this was instant, virtually overnight.
Up to 300 screaming girls maintained their vigil at the RTE Television Centre for over 3 hours.
It reminded me of years ago when the Beatles would do live gigs and the vans would get rocked.
There was that level of hysteria, especially for Ronan and especially for Steve.
Ronan, Keith, Stephen, Mikey and Shane became the best of friends, but it was the group's two lead singers, Ronan and Stephen, who had the closest bond.
Ron and Steve were close. I know their relationship, they would have shared a lot of intimate things.
They were always giggling and laughing.
There was a special bond between them.
The smile on your face lets me know that you need me.
After more than 5 years as Boyzone's frontman, Ronan received a call from director Richard Curtis. He asked him to sing the theme tune on his latest film.
He released a cover of a huge American country song.
I remember hearing that song and thinking, oh my God, he's done a song for Notting Hill.
It just all made sense, you know? It just all fell into place.
From that point on, he was no longer Ronan Keating from Boyzone, he was just Ronan.
Ronan's next single cemented his status as a solo star.
This had #1 stamped all over it.
It absolutely proved that he was going to be able to have a succession of big hits.
But that video will still go down as one of the stupidest videos ever. Just him floating around those trees, it's like seriously, Ronan. Hey, you're 27. You shouldn't be floating around in trees at 27.
Whilst Ronan's career took off, Boyzone split.
The fact that he suddenly had this massive solo hit did cause a bit of tension amongst them all. And then it kind of transpired that Ronan had broken up Boyzone, but that really wasn't the case. If everyone's been honest, everyone wanted a break. Everyone had just had enough of it all, just the madness of it all.
In 2007, news came that all the fans had been waiting for.
Boyzone are back.
I remember them all hitting the gym at the same time to tour again. I know they were all excited about that.
Then all got super buffed up. I was kind of a bit jealous.
2 singles later, they were still going strong. But while the band were taking a break from recording an album, Ronan received an unexpected phone call.
We were in a restaurant and the next thing, I just saw him on the phone. He went, what? 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 And he pushed his chair back. And he looked at me and I knew something was seriously wrong.
Boyzone fly out to Mallorca after the sudden death of Stephen Gately.
At the age of just 33, Stephen had been found dead at his holiday home in Spain.
They hit roll real hard, real hard.
A week later, on the 17th of October 2009, Ronan and the rest of his bandmates said an emotional farewell to their dear friend.
It's with a heavy heart and great sadness that I say that the world has lost one of its brightest stars. We have lost our brother, and I've lost my wingman. It'll never be the same without him.
Take me back to when you got the call. Who called you?
A lawyer called Gerald Keane. The phone rang and Gerald said that, Ronan, I'm sorry, but I have some bad news. Stephen's passed away. So straight away, I started going through all the different Stephens in my head, thinking, Stephen who? And I think I said, Stephen who? And he said, Stephen Gately. The first thing I did was call Andrew, Stephen's husband, and asked him, was it true? Please tell me it's not true. And Andrew started crying and said, sorry, Ro, it is. Then I called the guys.
And you broke the news to all of them?
Yeah, one by one, and gave them the news. And that was That was really hard. Really hard.
Why was it so important for you guys to get to Spain?
We didn't understand what was going on, but we knew we needed to be near Steel. So we got on a flight and we flew down and we met with Andrew and we spent the night talking, really, and trying to understand what was going on and what happened.
And that must have been so hard.
It was all so hard. I mean, honestly, you see, getting to Spain, meeting Andrew, flying back to Dublin, meeting the parents, and then being asked to organise the funeral and put it together for our friend, our brother, it was hard. It was everything we had to do, from the songs that we thought he would like to hear, to finding the words in the eulogy that would be fitting enough. And there was times I remember sitting on the plane with the guys, and I was jotting down things for the eulogy, and I was shouting things across the plane at the lads. And we had some stories we were laughing, and then somebody'd say something, and you'd just have tears streaming down your face, all of us sitting there.
You spent the night before the funeral in the church with Stephen's coffin, all of you.
Yeah. It was amazing. It was an amazing experience for us. Stephen's mum said she didn't want Stephen on his own in the church. So we all said, no brainer. We're all staying in the church tonight. So we got a bunch of sleeping bags and we literally lay on the floor next to Theo, and we laughed and cried all night. And it was our last night together. So he had so much to give, so full of life and so full of love. And all the things I knew he wanted to do in life. Something as simple as he was a big Disney fan and he wanted to see, I think it was called The Princess and the Pea, I think it was called. And he couldn't wait. He was telling me all about this new cartoon that was coming out and he couldn't wait to see it. And I remember sitting watching it with my daughters, thinking that it's hard.
What kind of man was he, Steve?
He was a creature that needed love. He needed to feel loved, and when he went through some difficult times in his life. When he came out, I mean, that was a huge step. And his bravery was unbelievable.
Because you guys had known from the start that he was gay.
Yes.
So you'd always known. He'd never kept it secret to you.
No, not with us, no.
But all of you, as the band exploded, you must have all been aware of this ticking time bomb on Stephen.
We never felt it was a ticking time bomb. Stephen was scared.
Did he feel that?
Yeah, he was worried. He was worried that we would lose fans because of that. And it was the total opposite when he came out. But he did. I mean, there was friends of his that didn't know. I mean, telling his mum and dad, all of those things that he had to do because of this issue, this situation that, the newspapers had found out. They were going to, break the story. So they came to him and said, would you like to tell it your way?
Did you feel it was, looking back on it, may have precipitated a happier phase in his life?
You should never be pressurised into doing something like that. You do it at your own time, your own choice. It was heartbreaking for Steo. I saw what happened. I saw the pain he went through. And nobody deserves that.
You have to be ruthless in that moment.
I was. I don't regret going on to do what I did, but I regret the way it was handled.